If you aren't happy with yourself, you can't possibly make somebody else happy. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to my channel. You're tuned into Life is Mariah, and today I'm doing a relationship advice video. I asked you guys to comment some questions that you guys wanted to know as far as relationship wise. I'm pretty sure y'all thought that my boyfriend was going to be in this video, but he's not here right now and I kind of need to get this done. But I will do a part 2 and he'll most likely be in it. So I have about 10 to 11 questions, and then someone sent me like a scenario or a situation that they're in, and I'm basically going to read it and not say who it is and just say what I would do if I was in that situation, basically. Before we get into this video, make sure you have already subscribed to my channel, and at the end of this video, make sure you like and comment. So yeah, let's get straight into the video. So the first question that I'm going to answer is, how did y'all stay together for so long, and what did y'all do to make it last? Okay, so we are a year and I want to say 7 months, maybe longer, but we're a year and some months. And I think we've stayed together so long because we have stayed true to who we are. We have both been very authentic and very honest with each other. We're pretty much best friends. Like, we know everything about each other. I tell him everything, he tells me everything. And another thing that I think is very important is when we get into situations or little disagreements, we always communicate and talk about them, whether it's right then and there or whether it's later. And I feel like a lot of relationships don't have good communication. So I think one of the main reasons that we stay together for so long is that we have very good communication and we are both on the same page all the time about everything. Like, we know what our goal is and where we want to get to in our relationship. So we don't let anything or anybody come in between that. We just always communicate and make sure we're being 100% honest with each other no matter what it is. And what did y'all do to make it last? We make our relationship fun, so that doesn't mean go on dates every weekend, but we try to make sure there's always like a spark or something that we need to do. We always go on dates like every so often, but they're like really nice dates that we actually take time to plan, whether it's me planning a date for us or he planning a date for us. We always take time to plan stuff out. I think, yeah, a part of like making it last is like just making sure y'all always have a spark. Like, you never want nobody to go uninterested, so we always make it interesting. Even if we're just chilling in the house, we cut on a movie, like we bond. Like, that's just how we work. But yeah, I feel like y'all both have to be in a relationship. You both have to be on the same page. You both have to want the same thing, or else it's not gonna work, because you're gonna be trying to get what you want and the other person trying to get what they want, and then y'all gonna end up clashing. So yeah, I think that's how we make it last. Next question is, what is my opinion on how social media affects relationships? Okay, so our relationship, you may see me post him here and there, he posts me here and there, but we're not the type that's always posting each other. I feel like when you post more, you put more people in your business. Not saying that people don't know about us, but people often be like, oh, you didn't post him, or he didn't post her, so maybe they're going through something. No, that's totally not it. Like, we could be sitting next to each other and don't post each other, but that don't mean that we're going through anything. That just means that a post doesn't define how we feel about each other. So, I mean, social media will affect what you let it affect. So if you want to put social media in your business, like every time we argue or get into a disagreement, I don't take it to social media, and neither does he. That's where a lot of people go wrong. Y'all take y'all arguments and y'all disagreements and y'all put them on social media, and y'all wonder why people are always in your business. That's why, because you always putting your business on social media. So I feel like with social media, you have to just be mindful of what you post. Not saying like don't post each other all the time or don't post at all, but you don't have to post a person every week or every day in order to keep people. You don't have to post each other every day just to keep people reminded that y'all are still together, because it's really none of their business for real. So yeah, I feel like social media, like, it will affect what you allow it to affect. Like, I feel like you could post, it's nothing wrong with posting your significant other on social media, but watch what you say and watch what you put out there, because people will really stir it up and make it more than what it is. How do y'all stay strong when people hate on y'all? So, one thing that I have learned from him is that he doesn't let anybody else's opinion affect what he has going on or what he loves or what he wants to do. So when people hate on us, that gives us even more reason to go harder or show them like ain't nobody out here doing it like us. Like, that's just how we are. People will really people don't like seeing you happy, so people will try to bring you down, put things in place or make up stuff to ruin what you have. So you really just have to block the haters out, because regardless of what you do, you're going to have a hater, whether you doing something good or you doing something bad. Somebody going to always be a hater. So I don't let haters get to me. People can say what they want to say about my relationship. One thing that I get a lot is like, he's a senior. Well, senior year is pretty much over due to the coronavirus. But yeah, he's about to go to college in a few months, and I still have my senior year to finish. I still have to get through my senior year. And people always be like, what are you going to do when he goes to college? Like, don't you think he's going to cheat on you? Like, those are haters to me. Like, I'm not worrying about if he's going to cheat on me. I know the agreement and understanding that we have. And he knows that if he ruins that agreement, then we're just going to have to figure something else out. But people will try to hate on you and question what you got going on just because they want what you have. So I know there's people out here that can't find nobody that loves them like my boyfriend loves me, or can't find nobody that actually want to be with them for who they are. So people will try to get in between that, and I don't allow that to happen. Neither does he, especially not him. Like, I might slip up and give the haters some attention and be like, oh, don't play with me. But him, he's always like, leave it alone. They don't matter. So yeah, I feel like he's more so the strong person on that part, because he always reminds me like everybody else's opinion does not matter. It's what makes us happy. So yeah, I feel like if y'all focus on what y'all got going on and literally pay the haters no attention, your relationship is going to be fine. How long did it take y'all to say I love you, and do you think it's a time too soon to say it? If I'm not mistaken, I think I said it first. But the way it came up, it was kind of weird. I just probably said something like, oh, I'm so happy with you, or something like that. And I think he asked me like, so do you love me? And I was like, yeah, I love you. And that's how it went. So I think that's pretty much how it went. I wanted to say I love you way before that. But you know how you want to say something, but you don't know like what the other person's reaction is. The other person's reaction will be when you say it. That's pretty much how I was. Like, I wanted to say it way before that. But I don't know. I guess it was just pride. I don't think there's a time too soon. It's really how you feel. Like, if you... Okay, hold on. If you telling somebody you love them within the first week of meeting them, I don't know about that. I feel like you don't know the person enough to say you love them. But for me, we were a few months into our relationship, and for us, we was always together every weekend. So I spent a lot of time with him. I was getting to know him. I was getting to know his personality, what he likes and doesn't like. So I was just so happy in the fact that I met somebody that could understand me and want the same thing as me. So I don't know. I don't think there's a time too soon, but 1 week with somebody, you try to tell them you love them, I don't think that's okay. But I feel like there's no specific time. It's really how you feel. If you feel like you love that person, that's just how you feel. Nobody can change how you feel. So I don't think you should be scared to say that you love somebody, because that could really make them happy, because they might be feeling the same way. You never know. So yeah, next question is how to work on communication and trust. Okay, so starting with communication. if you're somebody that is like the nonchalant type, of course it's going to be hard for you. Me, I can't keep my feelings in because it's my gut. Like, my gut feeling, whatever I have to say, it sits in my stomach, and you will be able to tell in my face regardless. So I might as well just communicate. And I don't think that it's good to hold things in at all. Like, if you hold things in, that your stress level and your mental is like shot, like it's done. So I feel like if you say what you have to say, no matter how the other person may feel, you will feel better just off the fact that you got it off your chest. So I was always taught to say how I feel and own my power, no matter who it's going to affect. Always be real, always be 100% honest. So with him, he's more so reserved and like is used to keeping in his feelings, and me, I'm the total opposite. So I just wanted him to know that if there was anything that he needed to tell me or anything that he wanted to get off his chest, whether it's about our relationship or just what he's going through in his life in general, like, I'm the person that you could come to and talk to. And I feel like after some months of me opening up to him, he wanted to open up to me. So that's how our communication got strong, because I was encouraging him to talk to me. Like, you don't have to find anybody else to talk to, because you know that your secret is safe with me. So once I told him how to communicate well, it's like that got us 10 times closer. Like, we know everything about each other. No matter what the situation is, he's gonna tell me or I'm gonna tell him. So we just communicate like that. But I feel like it's very important, whether it's you as the female relationship or him as the male in a relationship, to just encourage communication. Because once that person feels like they're safe with you, they're safe and it's okay to talk to you, like, they're not going to ever run to anybody else. So that just makes y'all bond stronger, and that makes y'all way more comfortable. Like, we're so comfortable around each other, but I think it's because of how good we communicate with each other. And as far as trust, like, trust for me was hard. It had nothing to do with him. It just had something to do with my past and how I never felt like I could trust anybody again, because every time I tried to trust somebody, it never worked out. But I also think that you can't hold a grudge or bring your past into your present or bring your past into your future. You leave the past in the past. So I just felt like I seen that he was somebody that wanted me, had good intentions with me, actually wanted to make me happy, wanted to see me smile. So why not give it a chance? Why not give it a chance? I just thought that there was nothing wrong with giving it a try. So you really never know, like, how it's going to turn out until you do it for real. So me, I was like, I don't know if I could trust him. It was kind of like the stereotype thing. He goes to DeMatha, and if you're from here, you know that DeMatha boys always get like stereotyped about how they talk to many different girls or they're not loyal. But I just had to open my eyes and look past that and see that he was different, and I couldn't hold him up to that same standard. I had to look at him as he was a human too. So I just felt like if he was showing me that he was real, everything was genuine, that he actually wanted to see me happy, why not give it a try? If he was giving me a try, he was trusting me, so why couldn't I do it? And once I did, there was never a time where I did not trust him. One, I had no reason to not trust him because we always communicate about everything. So it was no point in me not trusting him or giving it a try. So I just feel like, even no matter how hard your past has been or how your relationships have been in the past, you cannot hold that same grudge or that same hurt and bring it to somebody else, because you're basically just bringing your past into your future, and hurt people. So you can't allow that to take advantage over what you're trying to have or how the relationship that you're trying to build. You can't let that take over. So yeah, I think trust is very hard. I think trust is hard, but I feel like once you let your guard down and you try it, you're gonna learn something from the situation regardless, whether it goes good or it goes bad. But you never really know till you try. Next question is how to maintain a healthy relationship. To maintain a healthy relationship, I think you have to be honest. I think you have to keep a spark in the relationship and make sure that y'all always doing something fun and making memories together and always bonding. I feel like having a good relationship with each other's parents is very important too. But he has a really good relationship with everybody in my family, for real, for real. Everybody in my family loves him unconditionally, just as much as they love me, and I feel like I get the same love and respect from his family as well. So that's not like something that we have to worry about. So I feel like that's very important. I feel like communication is important. Checking in and make sure that your significant other's mental is okay, but outside of your relationship, making sure that they are okay, like their headspace is okay, they're not going through anything else that you need to know. Like, I feel like that's important. I feel like quality time is important. Like, once you spend quality time with somebody, you get to know them more, you get to trust them more, you get to open up, and they get to see a different side of you. So I feel like that's important. I feel like keeping other people out your business is very important, whether it's family or whether it's friends, because people are going to have their own opinion regardless, and opinions are just opinions. They are not facts. So it really doesn't matter. I feel like keeping people out your relationship is very important. I feel like being honest is important, and I feel like if you not ready to settle down and be with one person, I don't feel like you should be in a relationship, because if you're going to act single, you should be single, and you don't want to waste anybody's time or see anybody unhappy. So I feel like before you cheat or just do anything that could jeopardize what you have, I feel like you should check yourself first and be like, okay, is this really for me? Because if it's not, you're wasting the other person's time when that could be prevented way before it even gets bad. So yeah, I think that's how you keep a healthy relationship. Yeah, making memories, I think that's a really strong thing, because you get to look back on things that you guys have experienced together. So yeah, like I feel like our memories are memories that we'll never forget. Like, we've been out of town many places together already in a year. It's a month together. We went to the Bahamas, Miami, Florida, Atlanta, LA. Like, we have made memories together with each other and each other's family. So it's like, there's no turning back now for either one of us. I think we both have really good intentions and really good headset and a good mindset onto staying together no matter what other people say. Next question is, how y'all going to work long distance when he goes to college? And is it a hard conversation? Okay, so I don't really necessarily know how to give advice on how to make it work long distance. This is my first time being in a relationship that would be long distance. Me personally, I want it to work. I know that he wants it to work. I don't know anything that could jeopardize our relationship. But you literally don't know until you're in the situation. So I don't plan on jeopardizing anything. I plan on remaining loyal and honest even while he's away and I'm still here. So I really think it's just all about us two. Like, if we commit and still do the same thing that we would do even if we weren't physically together, I feel like it's still going to work. There's still going to be times where we're going to see each other. It's just not going to be as much. So I feel like it could still work if we both just have self-control and stick to the goal, stick to the plan, and just be honest and continue on good communication. Keep good communication and just keep making sure we're still making each other happy even with the distance, and I feel like things will be fine. It is definitely a hard conversation for me, because over this whole year of me being with him, I have changed drastically for the better. I kind of get emotional talking about it, honestly, because I feel like a part of me is leaving. That's how close we are, that's the bond that we have built. So to me, it's a hard conversation to have with him, because it's like, I don't think he necessarily understands what it is for me. It's hard for me to explain it, but it's like, I still have to figure out how life is without him. So there's been a year. We've been together for a year, and we've been together for so long. We're always together. So for me, it's like I mentally have to get back into the mode of being alone. Even though he's going to always be here, whether I need something or I need to talk, he's going to always be there, but he's not going to be here physically. So I have to get used to that. It is a hard conversation for me to have because I don't feel like anybody necessarily understands where I come from or how I feel about it. But it's really rough for me because he's literally my best friend. Like, he's literally like kind of like the only friend that I have. I have friends, I can count them on my hand though. Like, I barely have friends. So he's like my biggest friend, like my best friend. So it's like there's things that my friends don't know that he knows. So it's like, I don't know. We're just so close. So it's hard for me to accept the fact that he's not going to be here. But I also have to accept the fact that he's chasing a big dream. He has to do what he has to do. He has to be the best athlete that he can be in college so that he can make it to the NFL. So, I mean, I can't make it like all about me because I also have to understand what it is and what it's like for him. But it's definitely a hard conversation to have and a hard pill to swallow. It's very hard for me. I'm going to try my best to get through it, but it's literally probably going to be the hardest thing I've ever had to do. And I try to avoid the conversation so much because it's like once I start thinking about it, I don't stop. So I kind of didn't want to answer this question, but then it's like other people could probably relate to how I'm feeling too. So I feel like the best thing that we can do as girlfriends, just dealing with boyfriends that are athletes and that are going away to college now, we really just gotta stay honest and stay true to who we are, even though they're not going to be here, and just make the best of the distance. Like, whether that's always on the phone or just picking days where y'all do certain fun things over the phone. Like, I don't know. We're gonna make it work. I know both of us, our mindsets is about making things work no matter what it is. So I know that we are going to be fine. But it is still going to be hard for me because I don't like being by myself. I haven't been alone for a year. So it's like now I have to go back to how that life is since I won't physically have him here. So yeah, it's kind of hard, but I know that I still have a senior year to finish and he has his freshman year of college to get through. So we just have to be honest, stay true, and make it work. Next question is, how do you feel about phones? And they're talking about like checking phones or whatever. Okay, so me personally, I'm not that girlfriend that constantly check my boyfriend's phone. Some girls are probably going to be like, girl, you're crazy. Yeah, I feel like that's a part of the whole trust situation. If I gotta check your phone every 5 minutes or every other week, I don't trust you. So yeah, I feel like not looking through your partner's phone can also build your trust. Like, me and my boyfriend, we have no social media passwords. I don't have his Twitter password, he doesn't have mine. I don't have his Instagram password, he doesn't have mine. I don't have his Snapchat password. I don't even have Snapchat anymore, but I don't have his password to check his stuff. And any other apps that he has, I don't have the password to that stuff. I have the password to his phone, but it's like he has password to my phone, but it's like not to look through anything. So I think that's also how our trust is so big and so good, because we don't have any social media passwords. Like, I'm not in that business. I trust that he's not gonna do anything that he has no business doing, and he trusts the same thing for me. So yeah, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, I don't check his phone. I have checked his phone before, but months ago. I don't constantly check his phone. That's just not me. And I don't feel like that's cute. I don't know. He doesn't check my phone at all. I think he may have checked my phone twice this whole relationship, and I maybe have like a good 3-4 times. But not because I was looking for anything. Just like, oh, okay, like, this is the kind of stuff that you do, but I never found anything. So it's like I never was pressed to check his phone because there was nothing to ever find, because I knew that I trusted him. He trusts me. He didn't do anything. He wasn't doing anything that he didn't have no business doing. So it was like, what am I checking his phone for? So yeah, I feel like if you're somebody that's constantly checking your partner's phone, you don't trust your partner, and that's something that you should work on, or that's something that you should figure out, because if you don't trust your partner, then y'all should not be together. Period. Next question is, how do y'all get through tough times? When we go through something, I might handle it a childish way, or he might handle it a childish way, but most importantly, we give each other space. We don't have to sit there and talk about the argument or the situation right then and there. I give him space, and he get his thoughts together, I get my thoughts together, and we come back together and we say, hey, I don't like the fact that you did this, and I think that it escalated because of this. Like, we communicate through every argument. That's how we get through it. That's simply it. We literally communicate, and we give each other space. You need time to miss each other. That's something else that I had to learn. Because just like with this whole long distance thing about him going to college, I'm so used to us being around each other. So I have to understand that there are times where I need space, even though I don't often like to admit it. There's sometimes when I do need time to myself. And him, as a man, as a male, he needs time to himself too. So yeah, I think getting through tough times, and I think space and communication is the two most important things that will get you through that. If you communicate good and you give each other space and y'all have time to miss each other, then come back and talk about it, I think that's good. But don't ever let any argument or any disagreement go unnoticed. That's never okay. You should always talk about it, because if you hold stuff in, it's like it can affect your relationship, because that's constantly on your mind. If you talk about it, you move past it, you don't think about it anymore. So yeah, I think communication and I think space is two important things to get through tough times, tough patches in your relationship, arguments, disagreements, whatever. Communicate and space is the two things. Last question that I'm going to answer is how to prevent arguments. Honestly, I don't think you should let like your thoughts automatically make you say something, because sometimes you think about stuff and you just say it without really processing it. And that's me. I'm going to be honest. Like, I think about something and I be like, okay, don't react yet, you didn't fully process this, and then I react. And that's wrong. Like, don't do that, because you can say things that you don't mean. You can make the situation worse. You could be over exaggerating, and it might not be as big as you think it is. So to prevent arguments, I just feel like you should not go with your mind so much. Don't go with your thoughts all the time, because your thoughts will have you overthinking. You could be making up stuff in your head that it ain't true and don't have nothing to do with the situation. So to prevent arguments, I feel like you should like talk things out, and you should wait, process your thoughts first, then have a conversation. Communicate how you feel, but don't build up tension inside your body. Then you have so much to say and there's so many negative things. I think you should process your thoughts first, don't overthink, and then communicate how you feel without being aggressive or being negative or being rude and mean. I think you should just process your thoughts and then communicate, because that prevents an argument. If you communicate and don't argue and don't be so aggressive, then that prevents the argument right there. So yeah, I think you should just think about what you're thinking about, like, if that makes sense. Like, think about what you're telling yourself, or think about what's going through your head, process it first, and then say how you feel. Don't just automatically jump and feel like you have to say something, because that's not always a good thing to do. That's not always the solution. So that is my last question. But also, somebody had sent me a situation or a scenario, or whatever y'all want to call it, something that she's going through, and she wanted me to say what I would do if I was in that situation. So I'm going to read it off. So it says, me and my boyfriend talked about us mentally being unhappy and very irritated in general, so we decided to take a break. But he wants to do it alone for a week with limited communication unless we're checking on each other. I feel like for a while now we've been off and the butterfly effect has worn off. What should I do, or what do you think about him from both perspectives? We've been talking and dating for 3 years, and now everything seems different. The little things he doesn't do anymore. Am I overthinking? Okay, first thing I'm going to say is I don't really necessarily support breaks in a relationship. I feel like there's no break in a relationship. What do you need a break from? I feel like if you want some time to yourself, okay, have space. I don't feel like you should cut off communication, because that gives you space to communicate with somebody else. that's why I don't support breaks, because I feel like, what do you need a break for? You need a break to go talk to somebody else? No. If you need space, okay, you go home, you sit to yourself, maybe we don't talk for some hours and you get time to like focus on yourself. Okay, that's cool. But taking a week break without communication at all, I don't think that's healthy. I feel like that is gonna, your butterflies are gonna wear off, because you don't even get to talk to the person that you want to talk to. You get to just sit there and look at a wall. So me personally, I don't support breaks. I feel like if you want space is needed, so that's okay. But a week break without communication, that's not okay. Second thing I'm going to address is, I think that a reason that the butterfly effect could be going away is that either you or him are too comfortable with each other. When you get too comfortable, you don't feel like you have to have a spark or have to always do something that makes the other person happy. You're too comfortable. I don't think that could be a reason why the butterflies are going away. Also, if the butterflies are going away, maybe that relationship or that situation is not for you anymore. Maybe that situation is, there's no life or no energy that you have left to bring to that relationship. You might not want to end it or say that because of the distance and the time that y'all been together, but what's meant to be will be. What's not meant to be will not be. It simply won't. And I feel like you shouldn't be with somebody if you're not interested, or if you're not still in love, or still getting the butterfly effect. I don't feel like you should be with that person. Or I feel like you should talk to that person and figure out, what is it, like, what's going on? Why do you need a break? Why do you need space? What am I doing wrong? What could you do better? What could I do better? Communication is important in all of this. I don't think you're overthinking at all. If the butterfly effect isn't there, I don't feel like that is for you, or you should figure out what it is that's, like, what's going on, like, what's wrong, what's the issue. I feel like you should figure out what the issue is first, then make your next step. I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, break up with him. No, it's totally up to you. But if the butterfly effect is wearing off, most of the time, that just basically means that you're no longer interested. If things aren't the same, just figure out, like, communicate. Ask him to be honest. Is there somebody else? Is it me? Like, what is going on? Why are things different? Why aren't you the same? See if he's okay, because he could be going through personal things and you just don't know. So it could be his personal mindset that is off. That's why I'm telling you, that's something that you should always know about your partner. Make sure their mental is okay, because they could be going through something and it affects everything that y'all have going on. That's not good. So yeah, I wouldn't say completely end it. I would sit down and have a real genuine conversation with him and ask him, like, what is it? What's going on? Why do you need a break? Is it me? Like, are you going through something personally? Is there somebody else? You have to ask and figure it out and understand why the person is doing what they're doing. Because if not, you're just left in the blind, and you don't want to just be left in the blind without knowing what's really going on in your relationship. So yeah, that's why communication is key, because y'all can communicate through that situation and y'all can figure out what is going on, what's wrong. So, and y'all can make it better. Y'all could figure out how to fix it instead of just taking breaks and try to escape reality. That's just not okay. But I hope this video was very, very helpful to you guys in your relationships. Feel free to DM me on Instagram if you want a one-on-one kind of advice conversation. I'm up to that. I do it a lot. If you don't feel comfortable with, like, sharing it publicly, I won't put it in my video, and I'll just personally DM you. But I think you guys should take my relationship advice and apply it to yours, because it works for me. What works for me may not work for you, but try to take bits and pieces of it and apply it to your life, because you never know, things could change. You could see drastic changes and things could be way more better than what they already are. So make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you post notifications so you can know every time I post a video. And yeah, thanks for tuning into this video. Peace.